Hello, class. My name is Felipe Cordova. This is my major informative speech on nuclear energy, innovating for clean growth. I feel that today and tomorrow's clean energy is dictated by the technology and processes that we develop in today's modern society. Nuclear energy was first discovered by Enrico Fermi in the 1930s at the University of Chicago, where he was able to demonstrate the first nuclear chain reaction by splitting atoms with neutrons. It wasn't until about the mid 1950s when they were actually able to determine that this type of energy could be used and produced for electricity use and commercial use. The first generating power plant was in Shippingport, Pennsylvania in 1957. Today, as far as what we know, I mean, for what it's worth, nuclear energy, there are pros and there are cons to it. But I personally feel that with the technology and at the rate that we're advancing as society, we could mitigate a lot of the cons to be more susceptible to being pros nowadays. But I mean, it's a work in progress. But as far as we know, the pros that do exist, and we could back up with data, is that it is a reliable power source. It is a zero carbon emission energy source, and it's promising for the future. And it's high density as far as the output that we could produce with nuclear energy. The cons that we do know as of today is that it does require a lot of water to keep it cool. A little bit into detail, the nuclear reaction creates a lot of heat, which causes a lot of overheating. That's why they need a lot of water to keep these nuclear reactors cool. That ties into the risk of nuclear accidents and radioactive waste. We really don't have the most sustainable way of disposing of this waste. But I know, like I said, there with today's technology, at the rate that we're going, I feel that that could be something that could easily be filtered or develop into something that could be recycled. And the last con is that it's not a renewable energy source, but I personally feel that that's something that could tie into hand in hand with renewable energy sources like windmills and solar power, hydropower as well. In today's modern world, we already have a lot of applications out there that actually use nuclear energy. A lot of us might not be aware of, where those areas are. So I wanted to list five ways that nuclear energy powers our lives today. One of them is space exploration. NASA, SpaceX, they rely on radioisotope power system (RPSs), and these are small nuclear reactors that power and are more efficient than our general fuel that we use on some of the engines. So that's where they use it a lot. Another one is, as we know, it's our nuclear energy that we actually produce for our electricity, which makes up about 20% of what we actually use in the nation. That also ties into our zero emissions goal, which nuclear energy makes up for 60% of it. Another one is in the medical field. We know that a lot of X-rays and other instruments that doctors use or tend to help out with areas such as cancer and other treatments. There's a lot of nuclear power being used there. Another one that a lot of people don't seem to um, really understand is that even it's used in criminal investigation. I didn't know this myself, but they used a lot of radioscopes to obtain physical evidence linking to suspects' crime identification. They can be used to trace chemical materials such as paint, glass, tape, and gunpowder, lead, and poisons. Another one is the agriculture. A lot of them use nuclear energy to for pesticides and all that good stuff. So as far as what we know so far as we worry about the how unsafe nuclear energy might be based on circumstances that have happened in the past. One, for instance, was Japan. They had that nuclear spill, and then the other one was the infamous Chernobyl, where one of the reactors blew up, and I guess they were never aware or prepared to have dealt with something of such thing because it was still brand new at the time. But in today's society, we have advanced as far as with the risk of accidents with nuclear power plants. And like I said again before, is that we're coming up with better solutions when it comes to nuclear waste. One of them is deep geological disposal, which is the process of basically just burying it deep down into the soil where it just kind of dissipates into the earth. I'm sure there's some negative um, contamination, but I'm sure there's still a lot that could be improved within that area, and I don't think that we might be too far from kind of bringing it into a safe and clean waste disposal treatment thing. But another one is that the nuclear energy does impact, and it's very important for the clean energy that we will be producing in the near future. And it is the largest source of low carbon electricity generation in today's economy, providing about 40% of all low carbon generation. Uh, like I said, I just feel that nuclear energy is going to be big in the near future, in the coming years, and we're going to see a big push for a lot of new developments within this sector because of the given situations that a lot of political pushes have been trying to be made, where they're trying to, for example, go full electric with vehicles, but in reality, it's impossible because our grid, as it is, with the distribution, the amount of electricity that we are producing, is not capable of sustaining all electric vehicles. Another one another concept that was brought up in earlier years is nuclear powered vehicles. Again, this is a very touchy subject because of the risk factors, but who goes to say that it's not possible? If NASA and other space agencies are using nuclear powered vehicles or engines or rockets, I'm sure that we could somehow redevelop a lot of this technology to be able to use it for at our level as in the cities, and being able to provide cleaner energy and low carbon emissions. This is a quote I added by Steve Jobs. It's I think it's very interesting because he's no longer here, but we need to understand that innovation is not something that is stagnant, and it's something that it just comes out of nowhere. It's seeking changes and looking for the next better thing in society, and the rate that we're going at, I feel that we need to be a little bit more innovating from, the smaller things to the larger things, and that's what's going to leave us, with a better future down the road. Thank you guys.